That's a good one. What is going on, everybody? Gonna keep it short and simple for you guys today. We are getting out, gonna be fishing a jerkbait, and kind of just be burning it for the next few hours. I got about 3 hours today, and I just wanted to get out and kind of do some jerkbait fishing, show you guys a little bit more about this method of fishing and this actual lure style, because a lot of people aren't really familiar with jerkbait fishing, and today we'll actually be fishing specifically from the bank. So bank jerkbait fishing today is going to be the name of the game. Before we start casting, I just want to talk about the setup that I'm going to be using today, because jerkbaits are a little bit more of a finesse style bait. They are very twitchy, agile, finessey bait that just gets the fish to notice that twitching out, spazzing out, dying looking bait fish, and it just targets them to strike. And the ideal thing about jerkbaits is they suspend. They stay in that strike zone for a lot longer than other baits. They're not like crankbaits. When you pause it, they start coming up. They kind of suspend right there in the middle, and you want to actually flick the rod a lot. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about this combo and a little bit more about the style that we're doing once we get you guys on the chest cam, but I just want to go over the basics real quick. So this is going to be a Googan Scout Junior. This is going to have 2 hooks. Some of your jerkbaits are going to have 3 hooks. The diving depth on this lure is actually going to be 3 to 5 feet. We're going to be rocking it with a fluorocarbon polymer mix. It's going to be something that's a little bit stretchy, but it also sinks. We're going to be rocking it with my Shimano DC, something that kind of reduces the backlash but makes sure that we get that nice casting distance, and it's going to be a 7-gear ratio, so that way every time we hit that whip we have a nice crank to be able to reduce that slack on the line and keep that tension nice and tight, so when we do get a strike, we make sure we get that hook up. On top of that, we're rocking a 6.5-foot medium rod, something a little bit smaller, so that way we can get a little bit more twitching in between, and it's a little bit more finessey, so it's got a little bit more bend in the rod, so that way when the fish actually strike, these treble hooks, they don't always hook right into the bass, so you want them to be able to bend the pole a little bit, run with it, and that's what's actually going to trigger that hook set. So now that we've kind of gone over the little bit of the basics, I'm just going to go ahead and start fishing, show you guys a little bit more about it out there, and talk to you more about it on the chest cam, and hopefully catch some nice fish today. So let's get at it. All right, guys, tell you the actual setup real quick. Shimano Exsence DC, didn't really tell you the real style. This is a Cast King Perigee 2 rod. Once again, it's going to be like a medium action Googan Scout Junior, and 15 pound of a fluoro blend mix line. We're just going to get that lure out there and just hit some solid twitches and just kind of pause in between. Leave that bait in that strike zone. And today the water is actually very clear, so we might be able to kind of work it a little bit faster than normal. Hopefully get some of these fish in here. There's multiple styles of bass. White bass are normally going crazy right now. Oh, I got a follower. Already? Yeah. It's a little dink. All right, breaking news, guys. Jimmy just showed up, and he's going to be actually doing the same thing we're doing today, throwing the jerkbait and having fun. So you guys already know the name of the game. Let's get after it. All right, guys, so our first cast actually had, just fan casting, literally. Had to follow our first little one. It looked like a dink, but the water's so clear here. You can actually see down probably about 4 feet, maybe 5 feet. I actually see my bait about 10 feet out. Just see a white bait twitching. That's what you want. You want that finesse twitch. It looks like a dying bait fish just running through the water. There's multiple ways to do it though too. I've also got them burning it and pausing, burning and pausing. But twitching is going to be your best method. A lot of people like a 1 twitch pause or a 2 twitch pause, 1, 2 again. It's kind of a little bit faster way to work it. You can also just go with the normal 2 and pause. 2 and pause. That's usually what keeps it in the strike zone the longest. As you can see, that bait just suspends there. Leave it there for about 5-6 seconds. Slowly drifts up. Oh, there's another bass following it. That's so funny. If you had a TK, they'd be smoking it today. Whoop. Well, guys, I actually just cast it off my bait somehow by hitting the rail, so I'm going to check if I have another jerkbait real quick. I believe I have another one, actually the 3 hook size. Let me go. It's actually in my car. Let me go get it real quick. All right, guys, so after that mistake, went back and got ourselves same color, just going to be a 3 hook. Dives a little bit deeper. I believe it dives about 1 foot, maybe 2 feet deeper. And we're going to be tying it on with the polymer knot real quick. Wet that line up, tying that bad boy up, and let's get fishing. Oh, I just had a follow-up. Yep, it was a white bass. Yeah, I believe it. White bass, I bet. Largy? Yeah. There you go, guys. Jimmy's already on one. Changed. Oh, look, there's a bass right underneath me. All right, Jimmy's got the first one of the day, guys. Jerkbait action.
First fish.
Yeah, they're just gonna grab it and run with it. But you got that junior size on, and I got that larger size on. That might be a problem for me. You might get that white bass right there. Yep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he came up and looked at it. He came up and looked at it and then took off. They're hitting it on the paws, bro. Oh, whitey. Look at that, guys. First fish of the day for us. Not a largie, but a whitey. Some solid fighting fish. Very fun. Came up and hit it last second on that jerkbait. Those 3 hooks, man. He wasn't gonna miss that hook set. Woo! Let's try to get him out nice and safe, though. First one of the day. First bass of 2022. First one. Let's go. Found a little method they want. We found a spot that no one's fished yet today. That's all we had to do, huh? A real rocky slope right here, guys, and that's a perfect spot for jerkbait fishing. What we're doing is just working it right above this slope. I got that one just real slow, dragging it like this. Actually saw him come up and hit it, and that's the method for our madness right now. We're just gonna keep on fishing this slope, working a little slow, kind of pause in between. Jimmy's got the junior size. He might get more bites than us because of that, but regardless, this is one of those baits that any time of the year, especially during this winter time, these bass, they zone in on that bait fish style bait, and when you start twitching out and mimicking a dying bait fish, they just almost cannot resist it, no matter the size. I guess right now is a good time to kind of tell you guys about why I prefer those short rods. As you can see, when you're using these jerk baits, jerk downward, that shorter rod allows us to get that full stroke without actually ever bottoming out and hitting the ledge or a boat or structure, whatever you're fishing off of. At the same time, allows me to get that full cast while still fishing with limited coverage. Sometimes you don't always want to reduce the size. Sometimes you want to go bigger, get out there further, but for what I'm using it for, this is going to be exactly what I want, exactly what I need. Nice, small, that I can get in and out of areas and bank fish very easily. At the same time, take this thing on a boat, work just as good. What we're doing right now is just continuously covering ground, doing a little bit of burning, a little bit of different styles and methods of moving that I've been showing you guys today. And at the same time, we're just trying to cover multiple areas. I'm almost kind of cross casting, going across the areas. I want to keep it deep though. It seems like we're pulling them in from the deep, but I don't have to go exactly straight out because the water's so clear. This bait's so bright, and that jerky motion usually gets them to zone in. So you do want to try to cover as much water as possible, but a lot of times these jerk baits will drive those fish in from about 6-7 feet out. So you have the ability to work a little bit more water when you're using these twitch style baits. Oh, there we go. We got hammered. We got hammered. That's a good fish. Did it let go? Oh my God, I muscled it too hard. Wow. Second fish I just lost, guys. Oh my God, no way. That one just bent the hook on us. Dude, that one fought like a mean tank too. Oh, that's annoying. At least we know where they're at now. Well, I said it a few minutes ago, guys, you don't want to pull that thing too hard. I actually kind of went high stick with it for some reason. I got a little excited, I guess. Oh, I saw him hit that. Oh my God, he hit it right here at the last second. Dude, they're down here, Jimmy. Oh my goodness, that was a little bass though, man. If my bait was smaller, I definitely could have hooked onto that one. We found a little spot. That last bass though, man, I feel like I pulled it out of his mouth. This one that just hit it He literally pecked at it. I saw him take it, but I didn't even try to set the hook. I was almost gonna let him do it himself. One thing I noticed over here, guys, you got a little wind-struck wall. A lot of water, bubbles, and stagnant of like grass and stuff. That's a good sign. That's a lot of times what bait will use as coverage, or the wind will just naturally push him over here. So I'm gonna try to fish this wall a little bit, fish this area a little bit, and we might call it for the day and get back out and do it another time. But this is what we want to look for when we're out here fishing. Wind-struck corners where the bait can be acting very, very crazy, possibly injured, possibly got pushed over here by the wind, at the same time popping out of leaves and brush. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Good hit right here at the end. Yep, working that wind struck corner. Look what we found, guys. Found ourselves a little bass. Not a big old big boy, but we got ourselves a bass. Found out what we wanted. You got to find these signs where you'll find stressed bait fish, where these fish might naturally be feeding, and you'll just sometimes stumble upon the bass. Look for the signs and start casting, guys. There you go. Second catch of the day, and I believe that's like the fourth hookup. So all right, guys, so it seems like the bite has sadly fallen off today. It seems like that winter transition has kind of gone into full effect, but I'm not going to let weather be our excuse. Instead, I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the jerkbait in general, because I love these things so much, and I need you guys to learn about them too, because they can be so keen in mimicking these bait fish, and just having them tied on at the right time, at the right location, can make or break. And if you guys don't believe me, I actually went out last week with this exact same lure tied on at this exact same location, and within 1 hour absolutely slayed the bass. Oh my god. Oh, that's a good one. They are feeding right now. It's two fish at the same time. That's how we know we're in the right spot. That's how we know we're tossing the right bait. Almost took the rod out of my hand. It seemed like we found some white bass and some largemouth just feeding in one corner of that pond. But the moral of the story is that these jerk baits, they are a great bait to use throughout the entire year, because they mimic dying bait fish so well. But during this fall and winter transition, when the bass are a little bit more lethargic, they're a little bit more scared to use that energy because they are cold-blooded animals. They don't want to, use all that warmth in their body because the water's cold, the air's cold. They don't really know what's going on. So they want to make sure that when they're getting out there and they're getting that munch on, it's going to be an easy target. And those sporadic jerk baits, those moving baits like that, they're really, really easy to target those fish, especially in bodies of water that have a lot of bait fish. So that's mainly what I wanted to get out here today. Just show you guys a little bit more about the jerk bait, show you guys some of the techniques, and if you're not comfortable with them, just try to push you out there on the water and get you one in your hands, because you won't catch the fish if you don't have them in the water. But I will tell you one thing, guys, jerk baits are a great lure to use. I've used them throughout the entire year, like I always say, even during spawn season. A great bait to agitate the fish that are in those beds and get them to bite, especially because they have those treble hooks that kind of guarantee the fish. But that is going to be it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully you learned a little bit more about the jerk baits, and if you're wondering where you can pick these up, I'm leaving links below for you guys. shopcarls.com, use my code RyanR10. Save yourself some money on your purchases, and make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you can be part of all our future videos. But that's going to be it for today, guys. We'll see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace.